you a musician interested in improving your performance? Welcome to Notes on Jazz. I'm your host, Keith Davis. If you want to learn more about jazz improvisation, harmony, and composition, or just want to improve your piano skills, this is the place for you. We'll be hosting interviews with fellow musicians, offering tips and techniques on study and practice, and lots of other cool stuff. Whatever instrument you play, or if you're a vocalist, you will find something helpful and interesting here. So come hang out with us at Notes on Jazz. A pianist in the jazz world can fulfill several functions. First, we can play as soloists. This is a big responsibility and a challenge, and it can also provide a lot of freedom. We have complete control over the performance. We have the melody, harmony, and rhythm. It's almost like juggling, keeping all three balls in the air simultaneously. It can be a lot of fun playing solo, but you really have to pay attention to what's happening. I usually start with a basic arrangement of the tune. This means learning the melody and making sure I know the harmonies I want to use, along with some alternate choices, if applicable. Then, making sure I have some good voicings, etc. In other words, I learn the tune. I also need to consider the style. Is it a ballad, swing, bossa nova, etc.? Different styles require certain things in the accompaniment. Bass lines, how the chords are voiced, how the comping patterns work. Once I have a decent arrangement of the tune, I try playing it as a performance, taking improvised solos, trying different things in the accompaniment, etc. The better you know a tune, the more things you can do with it spontaneously during a performance. I like to try playing tunes in different keys. Sometimes you will find unexpected things by doing this. It certainly will make you think more clearly about the harmony. Another situation is where I'm playing in a trio with bass and drums. Here I'm still usually responsible for the melody as well as harmony and rhythm, but I'm also getting a lot of help. Bass and drums provide rhythmic support, and the bass adds harmonic support in the form of bass lines and counter melodies. Drums can also provide counter melodies and commentary. In my own trio, I know I can always rely on the guys to show up ready to play and to be listening and interacting as a unit. It's always a blast. With a good supporting rhythm section, everybody gets freed up to take part in the conversation. Another situation we encounter is playing in a larger ensemble, adding a guitar or horns or both. There may be a vocalist to consider. Here the pianist is more responsible for comping for everyone, contributing harmonically and rhythmically to the support of the soloists. Here the pianist is not usually playing the melody, but we still need to know it. We also need to listen carefully to the soloist so that we can provide the appropriate harmonic support. If a soloist is playing conservatively inside the harmony, I don't want to augment the harmonies with dissonant notes that will make them sound wrong. If they're playing more outside the basic harmony, I can add more dissonance, but not so much that it destroys the effect of their playing against the harmony. Playing with the guitarist is another challenge. Since we're both chordal instruments, we need to listen to each other carefully so that we don't clash harmonically. In this situation, I try to remember to simplify my voicings to share the harmonic space. Maybe we will take turns comping for different soloists in an ensemble. Playing in a big band is another interesting situation for us as pianists. Often we need to just assume the big band pianist posture, which means sitting there with your hands in your lap. There can be so much going on in a big band arrangement that the piano becomes unnecessary, unless we have specific parts that we are asked to play. The primary role of a pianist in a big band is usually comping for soloists and occasionally providing an intro. There is, of course, a lot more that can be said about this topic. If you have questions or comments, or you want some help, you can reach out to me at keithdavismusic.com. Thanks for checking out Notes on Jazz. If you want to communicate with me, I offer free consultations. Just check the podcast notes for a link. You can also find a link to my website for CDs, downloads, and videos. See you next time at Notes on Jazz.